Hey guys, this is Jessica and welcome back to my channel. First off, I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I have reached over 1,000 subscribers. Like, that is insane to me that I could even have 1,000 subscribers. So first, I just want to thank Keto in the Chaos for giving me a shout out on her channel. I think I got like 50 subscribers from her channel. So I just want to thank her and for giving me a shout out, and I'm so glad that she likes my channel enough to shout it out. And if you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel or for finding it interesting enough to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, you totally should. Only if you want to. We don't do peer pressure here, but if you would, that would be amazing. So today's video, we are going to be talking about macros. Now, in one of my last videos, I asked y'all if you wanted me to go more in depth about macros, how I figure them out, like all the information that I have on macros. So that's what we are going to be doing today. Well, I am definitely not an expert by any means on nutrition, weight loss, macros. I'm not a nutritionist at all. Everything I say are just the thoughts and opinions of myself and what I have found has worked for me and my body type. Everybody is different. So if you are into the keto diet, which is probably why you're here, macros. What are macros? Macros is a short term for macronutrients. And basically what that is, it is 3 categories: carbs, protein, and fat. That is basically your macros that a lot of people are like, macros this, macros that. And doing a keto diet, there is a certain percentage of each one that you should have to make your body a fat burning machine. And usually what it is, it's like 70, 20, 10, or somewhere around there. So what is a macro? Macro is a energy giving component of food that helps fuel our body. I'm going to be talking about carbs in this section. Carbs, like I said, sugar and starch. Now, before, people say there are good carbs and bad carbs, you have to have carbs to live. I am one of those people that I personally don't think you need carbs to live. Yes, carbs are delicious. They're tasty. They are so good. But do you need a carb to live? No, it's not like protein. You need protein to live, to survive. There are plenty of groups of people in areas that haven't advanced as much as we have over here in America, and they don't eat processed food. They don't eat carbs. They eat what Mother Nature gives them. Basically, if it's Mother Nature, it's not going to have a lot of carbs. Some of them do have carbs, but a good amount don't have carbs. And I just feel carbs are not a necessity for you to have to live. So a question I get a lot of people, or I see a lot of people ask questions in like keto groups on Facebook and stuff, what is the difference between total carbs and net carbs? Well, everyone has worked before, hopefully, and when you get your paycheck, you have total earnings, deductions, tax, net income. So think of this as a way whenever you are trying to decide total carbs or net carbs. So let's just say that whenever you are going to the grocery store and you're trying to see how many carbs it has or how many net carbs it has, think of your total carbs as your gross income, like you would get on your paycheck. That's how much you make without deductions or anything. After your carbs, you're going to see fiber, sugar, alcohol, all the things that would be a carb. So you're going to think of fiber, sugar alcohol. You're going to think of that as like deductions or taxes. So on a paycheck, you have your gross income, and then they deduct those taxes and those incomes, and then you have your net income. That is your net carbs, basically. You deduct fiber, sugar, alcohol. Those do not count. So once you deduct those, you have your net carbs. That explained it perfectly to me. The difference between total carbohydrates and net carbs is ketogasm.com. Definitely go check out the article. It was really, really interesting. So most people that do the keto diet, they try to have 20 carbs a day or less. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I don't. It all just depends on the day. So the next macro that we're going to talk about is protein. Protein is meat, chicken, beef, fish, any kind of meat you can think of is going to have 0 carbs. So meat is definitely your friend, and protein is so important for your body, important for growth, for tissue healing. There's so many things it does for the inside of your body. I remember when I was in the hospital and they told me you need to eat a lot of protein to help heal the inside of your body when I was having my lung issues and everything. And usually on the keto diet, the percentage of protein you have is like 70%. Like I said before, you can change that to suit your body and your weight. Now, fats. A lot of people are very leery about this because we have grown up in a society where you eat fat, fat makes you fat. But the keto is total opposite. They're telling you to eat fat, and somehow that makes you lose weight. Whenever I first started keto, I was like, how is eating all this fat food gonna make me lose weight? I was like, isn't that gonna make me gain weight? Because that's what society has driven into our minds. Also, like the food pyramid, you know, they're saying eat so many carbohydrates a day, that's good for you, but it's really not. Fats you can have on keto: oil, butter, avocado, animal fat, seeds, nuts, different things like that. But of course, you should always have everything in moderation. Just because you can have bacon and bacon fat doesn't mean you should pan fry a whole package of bacon and eat it every day. That's a little bit crazy. Usually for people that are doing the keto diet, the ratio is probably about 70% protein, 20 to 30% fat, and then 10% carbs, which means like everything should equal 100. I went on perfectketo.com. If you are looking for, you know, how much fat should I be eating, how much protein should I be eating, go to perfectketo.com. They have the most simplest macro calculator on there. You put in your height, weight, male, female, your activity level, and then if you want to gain weight, lose weight, or maintain your weight, and it will tell you how many of each thing you need to be having. So like whenever I put in my information, it said I should be having 77 grams of protein, 15 carbohydrates, and 96 grams of fat, which equals out to 1,239 calories. Me personally, I like to stay on a 1,200 calorie diet. I find that is what works for me. Do I go over sometimes? Of course, because I love to live life and I do love to eat. But I do watch my 600-pound life, and Dr. Now does put them on the keto diet in 1,200 calories. So that is the first part of macros that we are talking about. Now this next part, I'm going to be showing you how whenever I cook something and I need to know how many macros it is. You know, some people go on MyFitnessPal, which is totally great, but so many people put in so many different things for one item, so you don't know what is what. I find that it is way better to just write it out yourself and figure it out yourself. So that is what we are going to do. So I'm going to take one of my keto recipes and I'm going to show you how to figure out the macros on this. So now we are going to take one of my keto recipes, which is a cream cheese pancake, which are amazing. If you have not tried them, I will have it linked up above and also down below if you want to try out this recipe. They are so freaking good. But anyway, so whenever I do a recipe, what I like to do is I write down all my ingredients, everything I'm going to be cooking with, butter, you know, anything and everything. I don't really put seasonings and flavorings down because those don't have anything in them, so you just don't even need to count them. But everything else I write totally down. So for instance, for my cream cheese pancake, so I use 2 eggs. So what I do is I just write down the calories per serving. So this is for 1 egg right here. So 70 calories, 5 grams of fat, 6 protein, and 0 carbs. Then depending how many eggs I use, so usually I use 2 eggs. So total that's going to be 140 calories, 10 grams of fat, 12 grams of protein, and so on. And that is what I do for each ingredient. For cream cheese, it's the same thing. I just write down the servings for per serving, and then how many servings I use, I just multiply it, and that's how much I get. So I did this for each ingredient. So there are eggs, cream cheese, Truvia, vanilla extract, and sugar-free syrup. So once I get all of my totals for everything that I'm putting in my recipe, then what I will do is I will total it, as you see right here. So total calories is 355 for all the pancakes I'm making. Fat, it's 30, protein 16, and carbs is 3 for all the pancakes that we're making. So if you eat all of these pancakes for yourself, you're eating 355 calories, 30 grams of fat, 16 protein, only 3 carbs. Now, it makes about four pancakes depending on how big you make them. And then for like other recipes, what you can do that you're not eating all of it that you make, say you're making a casserole. You would do this the same way. You would just write down everything you're putting in the casserole, total it out and everything, and say it makes 6 servings. You would just take the calories, the total amount of calories, and divide it by 6. Like on the pancakes, what I did. So, you know, the total calories was 355, but since it usually makes about 4 pancakes, I took the 355 and I divided it by 4, which means each pancake is 89 calories. Same thing with the fat. For all of the fat, it was 30 grams of fat. So if you divide 30 by 4, you get 8 grams of fat per pancake. And that is just what you can do to figure out your macros. This is what I do to keep me accountable. Now, I also keep track of my calories because I find I do better when I keep track of my calories. But a lot of people on keto don't keep track of their calories. But this is basically how I keep track of my macros. It is a little bit more work, but at least you know what you're putting in your body. You're knowing, okay, how much calories have I eaten? How much fat have I eaten? How much protein have I eaten? And then you can see, okay, I've had a little bit too much protein. I need to not eat so much. Or, okay, I've had way too much fat. Let's not have any more fat for the day. But this is how I do my macros and how I figure out my macros for my meals that I cook myself. I hope you enjoy this video on macros. I know macros can be so intimidating, and you're like, what is a freaking macro? Really nothing to be that scared of. Now, I do know if you do use MyFitnessPal, you can go under your settings, and you can go in and adjust your macros for your diet. Like, I think in MyFitnessPal, I have it where it's 70% protein, 20% fat, and then 10% carbs, which is a good ratio for your macros for keto. But you can go in there and alter them a little bit if you feel you need a little bit more carbs, or if you feel you need a little bit more fat. It's all what works for you and your body. So I hope you enjoy this video on macros and how I figure out my macros for each meal. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And also, if you want to add me on Snapchat and Instagram and my social media, definitely go ahead and add me. I will not mind one bit, and let me know that you found me on YouTube or Instagram or wherever. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, guys. And remember, you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days. Like, some days are gonna be way better than others, but don't get sidetracked. Think of when you lose weight and you get that really, really good feeling, and just think, I want to keep on having that feeling. And it's okay to have down days, and it's okay to be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. You're only human. Everyone has those feelings, but just don't give up. That's the worst thing you could do, is to give up on yourself. You have came this far. You can't give up now. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye.